Welcome to the COP TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Welcome back to the COP TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another match preview. The first home game at Anfield of the season, Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. We've got Kane.
Good to be here.
The big Palace fan who is here with us. Thank you for coming, mate.
Yeah.
Long way from South London.
Very long way.
Yeah.
Traffic was awful.
Because we are in Liverpool, so.
Yeah, Liverpool. Yeah.
Basically. But anyway, let's get into it. Don't forget, this video is sponsored by our incredible sponsors, Betmate, the best app out there. I think you'll agree. You've been downloading
I've
it,
really
you've been
enjoyed
getting
it.
involved.
It's been a good start.
Let's see the teams right now. This is where it gets interesting. Don't forget, Crystal Palace, the last team to win at Anfield with fans in the stadium in April 2017.
Feels like a long time ago.
Well, we're talking over, 5 and a bit years ago now. So, you know, they're always a threat when they come to Anfield. I think you actually won 2 on the bounce back in 16, 17 kind of era. Before
that
Klopp
feels like a whole
took
different
over.
team now at this point.
It does. But listen, let's get into our Betmate teams. There's 7 asides here. You can have up to 6 players from the same team. Obviously, a Monday night kickoff. In the leaderboard, I can see other guys like the Red Men lads are in there, Paul, Chris, and Steve as well. And a couple of people that I know follow the COP TV. So make sure you're still downloading it using the link in the bio. But in goal, Kane, Alisson for me.
I've gone Alisson as well. I think that's a no-brainer for that one. You put him in
at
you
Anfield,
move on.
I think so. Do you know what? This might surprise you though. As my 2 at the back, I've got Anderson, who had a great game against Arsenal, even though he lost, and Robertson.
I've gone close. I've gone Anderson.
Okay.
Against Arsenal, we make so many tackles.
Interceptions.
His ball playing. I know Gay, he gets a lot of kind of compliments now, but Anderson, he kind of goes under the radar, but he's the one this year, I think.
Yeah.
And I've gone Trent,
Okay.
stat merchant. He'll pad it a little bit.
Pad it a little bit, love that. Well, I mean, you could have had Trent or Robert if you're stat padding it. But I've got Anderson. Don't forget you get points for tackles and interceptions. So that's why you kind of want combative midfielders in there as well, I'd say. So in the midfield, Fabinho and Harvey Elliott I've gone for because obviously Thiago's injured 4 to 6 weeks. We saw Jurgen admit in his press conference today. I mean, that is an opportunity for Harvey Elliott to step in. Keita is also going to come back. Does Henderson maybe drop out? I reckon Harvey Elliott is going to be involved, and that's why I've put him in.
I've gone very different midfield. I've gone for 2 Palace players.
Right.
I think even though Liverpool's midfield is good, it doesn't excite me. Palace full of flair. I'm taking a gamble, but
Okay.
I've gone Eze to captain.
Captain, so 1.5 times your points.
He's been, for me, in pre-season, he's been the one that I've taken a bit of a gamble and I think he's going to be our man this year. Against Arsenal, he really should have taken that chance.
Yeah,
that
big
would have
miss.
changed the game. But I think he'll turn it around. I think this is his game.
Okay.
And next to him,
Interesting.
my vice-captain, I've gone Decore, who we haven't seen much of him, but from what I've seen, really good. Bit of a luxury player. Good with the tackles, so extra points for that. So hopefully, I think we'll be quite defensive. So in that kind of defensive
Paddy
role.
admitted that, didn't he?
Yeah, Paddy's gone. We're going to play like the City game last year. We're going to defend for our lives. You'll have all the ball. We'll try and counter, sneak one in.
Sounds
Job's
about
done.
right at
So
Anfield.
we'll see. So I'm expecting a lot of work for the core race. I'll put him in,
It's a good shout. Going to win a lot of tackles, you're hoping.
hopefully.
And then up front, Darwin Núñez is my captain this week, Kane. And I've also got Mo Salah as the vice-captain. I mean, I had both of them in my team last week, and I think I came in the top. I was in the top 30, which is quite decent. There's about 400 entrants last week in Betmate for that £5, £1,000 split league. So they're obviously going to score goals, maybe even both of them.
Yeah, I mean, Salah is an obvious choice. I've left him out.
Okay, big shout.
I've got to take a gamble. I want to be at the top.
Yeah, of course.
I've put Núñez in. Because he came from Benfica. They're the Eagles.
No captain or vice-captain for him? They're the Eagles. Love it.
He basically plays for Palace at this point.
Okay, well, not really.
But I think there might be a goal in there. I'm not seeing loads. I haven't captained anyone for that.
Okay, interesting.
And I've gone Zaha. I think big game player for us. He always steps up. If there's a Palace player to score, our strikers, it's been questionable. So if the goals are coming, I'd like one from Zaha. Big gambles.
Well, listen, it is a gamble.
Yeah.
And on the bench, because I maxed out on the 6 Liverpool players out of the 7 in the starting positions, I've got Butland, Mitchell, Kouyaté and Zaha on the bench. So up to 5 minutes before the game, I could maybe switch Zaha for Elliott, maybe, if I fancied it, or even Keita if he gets to start. But there you go. That is, who have you got on the bench
My bench,
as well?
I've had the same issue. I've had too many Crystal Palace players in my team.
Back your team.
I wanted Gaeta in goal. I've had to go with Adrian. Bit naff, but
Yeah.
it's a spot. Then I've got Mitchell, Schlupp and Salah. He gets on my bench. He's an
Gets
all
on
right
Kane's
player.
bench.
He can make the bench.
Just about. Right, so there you go. There are our Betmate teams. Make sure you can try and beat us by using the link in the description to download it. If you find us in the app as well, you can actually talk to us as well. Have a bit of banter whilst the game's ongoing. And again, loads of names in this league already. So make sure you do get involved and play Betmate. And of course, gamble responsibly. And when the fun stops, stop. But this is the most fun way. I wouldn't even call it gambling, if I'm honest. But no, loving the guys at Betmate, Liverpool-based company as well. So make sure you get involved with them. Right, as I said, Palace haven't the worst record. You've actually got a better record at Anfield than certain Big Six teams in the last 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, I think Liverpool's the one team that I'm most worried about in the league. Our record recently hasn't been great. There's just
10 wins in a row for Liverpool over Palace.
There's just something about the Liverpool team that
it
terrifies me.
Okay.
It doesn't fit our system well. The one thing I'll take, Mane not being there, he'd always scored against us. I think he'd scored
at least one
9 in a row
Yeah.
in games. It was ridiculous. So now he's gone. You're basically just another Everton for us. And this is where I get cancelled.
That's
Clip that when it's 4-0.
This is another Everton. Wow. I mean, listen, we beat you 7-0, 4-0.
Yeah,
I've
tried to
3-0 last year. But that doesn't allow me to think this is going to be an easy game. Forget all that.
That was under Roy Hodgson as well. We've moved on from those times.
So have we. So have we. Good old Roy, enjoying retirement, I'm sure, until he gets a call from anyone.
Somewhere.
Anyone. Loves the money. No, big up, Roy. But this doesn't mean it's going to be an easy game going on the record. I mean, I said this before Fulham. I said to Jack, who was sitting in the seat there, I said, early kickoff, brand new Premier League season, you're buzzing to be back, the fans are there, the sun's out. All these things added to us getting the draw, basically. And even though we're at home this time, we can't get complacent. We have to start our Anfield season, all of our home games, with a win. Didn't lose their last season in the league. I mean, what does Anfield represent for a team like Palace coming up and trying to get something?
I think having that, we've got a lot of London derbies which add to it, but looking away, I mean, you've got the Manchester clubs, but Liverpool, Anfield is the one outside of London.
Would you say it's the hardest place to go in the league?
I mean, I've never gone as a player, but if I was, I'd be worried. Anfield would be the one. Just everything about how the stadium is so tight, the fans, the atmosphere. It feels a little bit like, I think you said before, you kind of feel like the northern version of Palace with the fans.
No, you're the southern version of Liverpool.
Okay, fine, we'll be the
Get
southern
it
version.
right.
We'll take that.
For goodness sake.
But I feel like we've got a similar, the fan base,
That's a massive
the
compliment
vibes.
though, yeah.
Yeah, for both of us.
For
both.
Leaning to this side.
For both.
But no, I agree. Listen, if I'm going to put my hat down on a London atmosphere that generates the most noise, whatever time, if I'm honest, early kickoff, late, especially late kickoffs, then if I'm honest, Chelsea's a bit toxic. Arsenal can get it up sometimes, but only when it's going well, I feel. I mean, Fulham put on a good show the other day. Tottenham, maybe they're getting somewhere, but it's Palace for me.
Too soon for Tottenham.
It is Palace. In terms of a consistently raucous environment, atmosphere, I'm going to say Palace. Let us know in the comments what you think to that as well. But massive compliment.
Yeah, I think especially the last 2 years, we've become that bogey team for a lot of big teams where more so at Selhurst, but even at your home ground, you don't always want to face them because you're not sure what's coming. And we're so unpredictable this year. Haven't had a proper pre-season. Lost to Arsenal, but we played all right. There were good moments and positives we could take.
Right. You did.
So it's a tough one to know what to expect. I say it could go either way, but you're not entirely sure what's going to happen on the night. But with Fulham, I'd have thought that you would have had them in the bag. So if you can't do Fulham, we'll see.
Fighting talk from the Eagle. No, listen, I think Liverpool, of course, are expected to win. But there's always that slight trepidation when it's the first game of the season at Anfield at home.
Especially on a Monday night
it's a Monday night. We're not used to that, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
We're playing 2 Mondays in a row.
We had Arsenal on a Friday, so it's all a bit... We haven't had a proper weekend game yet, so there's a lot you kind of have to figure out on the day.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting.
No, it definitely will. Like I said, going for a Liverpool win. My score prediction, I'm going to go 3-1, Kane. Does that sound about right? Or
Yeah, it's logical. It makes sense. I know last week, the Fulham fan, we had to have a heart and a head. I think I'd be the same where, because we're going to go so defensive and try and counter, I'd want to sneak a 1-0.
Okay.
I'm a little bit
Benteke
worried.
scorer, or?
Benteke's gone now. He's off to DC United.
Is he?
Yeah. So
Since
we've got
when?
a few days ago. He's gone with Wayne Rooney.
No way.
So Benteke,
That's
I love
mad.
him. I also don't rate him. But there's a few games you'd want him to step in, and this is the kind of
is the
game you
one.
might want him.
Bring him on in
So we've got
75th minute.
Mateta to smash up a corner flag. I wouldn't mind that. Edouard, it looks like Edouard's going to be the man to start. It's been a weird one. Vieira doesn't seem to like him. He hasn't got in the team
Started really well
properly.
though, didn't he?
Yeah, he got 2 goals
Two on
in
his
6 minutes on his
debut,
debut, and then got 4 for the
Against
rest of the
Tottenham.
season.
Yeah.
So striker, we're not there yet on that player. So there's not an obvious goal threat for us. So my heart will go 1-0 Palace. My head, maybe 2-0 Liverpool.
Well, there you
How
go.
it goes.
Kane has said it. Don't forget, we'll be outside Anfield for the very first, well, it's actually the second because we did Strasbourg a couple of weeks ago, but it's the first Premier League Anfield home fan cams of the season. So if you're going to the game on Monday against Palace, make sure you come see us after. We'll be back. Me, James, Ruby, Mario, Tammy, and all the other regulars as well.
I wish I was there to see all the disappointed faces at the end.
What the Palace fans? Well, if
no,
you haven't got one ready,
No.
you know, don't.
I can try and be optimistic, but there's only so much I can be optimistic about.
No, listen, you've done it before.
Yeah.
You have done it before. Like I said, you're
We've
the
got
last
to
team
we've
to
got to
win.
end the streak at some point. It can only go on for so long.
Exactly. So very confident Palace fan here. Got a feeling that he could
Yeah.
do something, can get something from the game. Like I said, 3-1 for me. Make sure you subscribe to the COP TV. We are this close. It's a joke how close we are. We're this close to 25k. So make sure you do that. And of course, we'll see you on the next time. Make sure you also like, comment, and subscribe to the COP TV. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the COP TV, the voice of football's most famous stands, for a lot more Liverpool content.
Remember to check out our Shopify store for this beauty and much more. It's the new Luchito's Way Diaz t-shirt based on Luis Diaz and Carlito's Way. It's out now, designed by Ruby.
And there's going to be so many more.
There is. Make sure you're involved. Go and buy this now and use the COP TV 15 for a little discount if you want.